So I'm sure most of us have seen those videos on like social media or YouTube of people who live the minimalist lifestyle, right? They have the approach to life that less is more. And I think there's something to be said about this, to be totally honest. I think that, some people take it to an extreme, owning literally next to nothing, which I don't necessarily think is the best option. Um, there are certain things in life that I feel we don't necessarily need, but it makes life, more fulfilled and more enjoyable. Just basic things, even anything down to like, silverware and cups and a coffee maker, something that makes things more convenient. Like there are certain things that I feel like are worth having that maybe a serious minimalist would say no to. So that's like the absolute extreme end of it, basically owning nothing. And then on the other end, there are people who continuously want more and more things. They want all the new clothes, new bags, newest phone, newest car. They just want all the new stuff and they want a lot of it and they want all of it. And I don't think that's the best way to live either. So then the question becomes, where is that, that happy medium? Where do you sit that you have enough to live comfortably and you're not inconveniencing yourself, but you also don't have too much that you just can't even use all the things you have. So I think I definitely lean more towards the minimalist side. I for a couple reasons. Number one, it's cheaper to live a minimalist lifestyle. Only purchasing things that you absolutely need or that you really, really want that provide value to you. That's going to save you money versus buying, again, the newest phone every year, a bunch of clothes that you're going to wear once or twice. I basically wear all the same clothes, every single week. Like I have my work clothes and my work outfits. And then oftentimes on the weekends or in my free time, depending on the weather, I'm wearing jeans and a black t-shirt or shorts and a black t-shirt. I have a number of sweatshirts that I'll wear. Like I like to keep it pretty simple just because, again, number one, it's cheaper, but also I feel like when I have less stuff, my mind is clearer, right? Like if I have so many different things to worry about, my mind just gets bogged down with all these different things and different responsibilities. Like, for example, someone who has one car has a lot less to worry about than someone who has five cars, because that person with five cars has to worry about getting all those cars inspected, making sure they're registered properly, making sure they get their oil changed, making sure everything is functioning properly. Then they got to replace brakes on one, and then the next month they got to replace the brakes on the other. Like for me, one car is enough stress when it comes to like car problems, right? Like getting that yearly inspection done and making sure my brakes are working and getting that oil changed. Like that alone is enough for me. I don't need any more car responsibilities than that. But having five cars, I mean, that's just five times as much stress and five times as much money as well. So that's just an example, but it's a perfect example that proves the point that living a minimalist lifestyle costs less. It removes stress. You have less to worry about, less responsibility. And another thing that I realized just this year, why living a minimalist lifestyle can be beneficial, is when you go to move. Let me tell you, man, if you've watched any of my videos, good chance you know that I've moved this year. I finally moved out of my parents' place. I moved to a whole different state. I just felt like I wanted to get a fresh start. I wanted to refresh. I wanted to get out, do my own thing, be like a self-sustainable adult. So I've been kind of on that journey, and I've been documenting a lot of it on this channel. So feel free to go take a look at a lot of those videos. But the reason I bring it up is because, again, I don't own that much stuff. Like when I moved, I basically brought my dresser, my TV, my desk, some really small furniture, like barely anything, maybe like two pieces. Like I'm talking like side tables kind of thing. And then just like my couple of TVs, couple of computer screens, my Xbox. And honestly, man, that was really it. I pretty much bought everything else when I got to my new, when I moved, when I got to my destination. And it just made things a lot easier because I was able to basically bring everything down to my new location in my car, my parents' car, and a small trailer that we borrowed from a friend. And I brought my bed down as well. I forgot to mention that. So we were able to fit all of this in my car, their car, and the trailer. And I didn't have to rent a freaking U-Haul and deal with all that bullshit. And that just was unneeded stress. And I'm thankful that, because I have very little stuff, I was able to do this for a much more budget friendly dollar amount. So that was just another hidden benefit that I didn't even think about when it comes to living a minimalist lifestyle. So I think the moral of the story here is, owning quality things over quantity is much more fulfilling. And there's just so many pros to it. It just makes your life better in so many different ways. And I continue to find new ways as well. Again, I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos not too long ago that probably when my lease is up next year, I may end up moving again just to kind of take advantage of, like, a lot of apartment complexes. I do live in an apartment. A lot of complexes are giving like the first 1 to 2 months of rent for free. So if it makes sense mathematically, I'm going to take advantage of that, even with moving costs, which hopefully won't be too much. That's definitely a discussion for down the road. It's not until like towards the middle of next year. So I'm not too worried about that for now, but it is something that I've been thinking about. But again, it'll save me some money there as well, not having a lot of stuff, being able to move all my furniture and the few things that I do own. But aside from all that, another benefit of actively living a minimalist lifestyle is that I force myself to only spend money intentionally. And what I mean by that is I really only buy things that I absolutely need. Um, and two things on this. If there is something that I really want, right? Like the new Call of Duty is coming out in November here, so I'm probably going to end up getting that. It's a video game. It's not going to break the budget by any means. I have money. I have extra money for spending every month, so it's something that I want to do. It's something that I'll get use out of. I do enjoy playing video games, and I play video games for this channel as well. So it makes sense, and it's something that I want. It's something that I'm going to buy, but it's something that I've wanted for over the past month or two. When I first saw that it was coming out, kind of thing. It's not like I just saw an advertisement for it and I'm going to buy it, right? Like I've wanted it. I'm being intentional about it. I mean, it's not that much money, but if it was a little more, I'd be setting money aside for it every month. And saving up for it. That way, when it comes around and it releases, I'm not just tapping into some other portion of my budget to purchase it. So that's one thing, is that I spend intentionally, even on things that I want, but also living a minimalist lifestyle. It encourages you to spend your money on non-material things as well. Like I I'm saving up right now for a trip next year. And I'll definitely kind of talk more about it in another video. I'll definitely share that with you guys, but it's not really the point of this video. The reason I bring it up though is it's going to be an experience that I'm paying for. It's something that, it's not like something I can put on my shelf or on my desk, right? It's something that I'm going to do, and it's an experience I'm going to share with people. And I think there's a lot of value in that. And that's not something that I used to do. I was actually the opposite. Whenever I would spend money when I was younger, I felt like it needed to be on material things just because I wanted something to show for my money. But as I get older, I'm in my mid 20s, which again, I know is incredibly young in the grand scheme of things compared to other people. But, the older I get, the more I realize, when it's all said and done and your time's up, you can't bring any of this shit with you. I can't bring my Xbox. I can't bring my car. If I had a Lamborghini, I can't bring that. I can't bring my house if I get one day. Like all these things that are tangible and I can touch with my hands, I really can't bring them with me. So I've learned that, experiences can provide a lot of value and they're worth the money. And I'm learning that more and more as I get older. So that's something to think about as well. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I guess the final note that I'll make is, my head is a lot clearer and I can focus on the important things, knowing that I don't have a lot of things or a lot of responsibilities at the moment. I keep my bills pretty minimal. A lot of my stuff, actually, basically all my stuff is paid off. I just have my basic monthly, payments for rent and utilities and food and all that kind of stuff. But if I had a motorcycle and a boat and a car and a rental property and all these other things that are tangible, but I owe money on, and it's just the maintenance on them, it clutters up your brain and your mind, and you're not, in my opinion, as productive and as happy as if you have little to no responsibilities. I don't know, that's just something that I've noticed for me, and I feel happy knowing that I don't have a bunch of stuff. But again, maybe that's just me. It's all based on perspective and your personal thoughts. Maybe success and happiness to you is having all those things, and that's okay, right? I'm not here to tell you how to be happy or what to do with your life, but I'm just sharing what kind of works for me. And that's the point of this channel, is just to kind of talk about my personal experiences and all that kind of stuff, and share it with you guys. Hopefully you can learn something from it and relate. um, but yeah, man, otherwise that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you checking in. If you are new here, I post every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time I post about personal finance, life experiences, anything I feel like talking about. I just throw it over some gameplay. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.